Dorian's available. We know he's here. He's practicing. Is he available to throw passes?
He's available.
How's he progressing in his recovery?
He's doing a great job.
You expect him to throw passes today?
He's available.
How has Ethan Garber's look this week?
Ethan's done a really nice job. I think from when he got here last spring, progressing all the way through, done a really nice job. He's got a great grasp of what we're doing. Real comfortable with Ethan.
How about Chase Griffin? How's he looking this week?
Same thing. He's working. He's available today.
Has Dorian been throwing passes in other parts of practice?
He's done a lot of different things today, this week. So see how it goes.
You said you didn't have changed play calls for Ethan, but I imagine you would probably game plan a little bit differently if he was your starting quarterback. Can you talk about that?
No, we wouldn't game plan differently. Ethan can run our whole offense, and we grasp the whole thing that Ethan can do, and Ethan and Dorian are very similar. So.
He's not quite the runner.
That's not true.
He is?
His brother's the all-time leading rusher at the University of California. The Garber's families are really good athletes, so don't underestimate him. Sleep on him. He's not a good rusher.
As a quarterback?
Yeah, he's the leading quarterback rusher in Cal history.
Rusher. Okay, all right.
Garbers are good athletes.
Okay, yeah, I know.
No, you don't, because you just questioned them.
Well,
you don't know.
I don't think.
Did you know that his brother was the all-time leading rusher at Cal?
You qualified as saying as a quarterback.
As a quarterback.
First you didn't say as a quarterback, so he's not the all-time leading rusher.
Quarterback. It was a big record last week. They came out and talked about it. There's been a lot of really good quarterbacks in Cal too.
Yeah.
What kind of problems does Cam Rising bring to you guys?
Yeah, he's a dynamic player. He's come in. He didn't start the year, but I think they've kind of settled on him as their starter. I think he's obviously similar to most college quarterbacks now. He can beat you with his arm and his legs. He seems like he's a really accurate passer. He's got a really good grasp of what Andy Ludwig's asking him to do in that offense, and they seem like once they inserted him into the lineup, they've taken off offensively. So, really good football player.
Does it impact your offensive preparation at all, knowing that Devin Lloyd has got to sit out the first half for Utah this week?
Their scheme is pretty similar. I don't know if it's, when you go through it, because he wasn't gone that long. He's been around for a long time, so I don't know if that impacts how they're going to call the game. We're obviously aware that he's not going to be in there in the first half, but schematically, they've been doing the things since Coach Whittingham was the defensive coordinator there. So they've been doing things that their system defensively has been in place for a long, long time. I couldn't tell you because there isn't enough tape to say do they call things slightly differently when Devin's in or Devin's not in. So we won't know that until the game unfolds.
They're retiring number 22.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an emotional evening. What are the challenges of playing in a game like that as the other team?
Yeah, we've not even thought about it or talked about it. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with the whole Utah family. That's to lose a player, in the prime of his life like that. It kind of puts the game of football actually in perspective. But we don't think of it that way. We think of it our thoughts and prayers are with Utah and the whole Utah community in terms of what happened in that tragedy.
Have you talked to Kyle Whittingham about?
I talked to Whit when it first happened. We sent them a card and just reached out to him. I've never dealt with that as a head coach in my career. And that's a pretty difficult thing, and whatever we can do to support him, and that's what we did when we sent a card to the entire team from our team, just saying, hey, we're thinking about you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you.
When you sent that card, whose idea was that? Staff, players, did it come together at
All
a
of
meeting?
us. We do everything together.
And kind of in terms of Pac-12 standings and implications, kind of a similar situation of when you went to Utah in 2019. Does that come up at all? Maybe not what's going on the field, but it's kind of a must-win.
Similar situation.
You kind of have to win to stay in contention for the Pac-12 South.
You always have to win to stay in contention for the Pac-12 South. So we're not talking about something that happened 2 years ago or 1 year ago or 5 years ago. So, you got to win all your games in league if possible, and pick your head up in December and see if that's good enough. So, but we've never talked about rankings or this thing and what's their schedule and who's this and who's that. You can go round and round and round with scenarios, but if you don't win, then it really doesn't matter. So, our sole focus is on playing against a really well-coached, talented Utah team. So.
To that point, you guys were one win away from bowl eligibility for the first time in your tenure.
What do you think the answer to that question?
I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Have not talked about it.
I'm not asking if you talked about it with the team. That's not even the question.
Okay.
In your big picture hat, which you don't like wearing,
Yeah, I don't have to wear it. So.
But
It's not that I don't wear it. I don't like wearing it. I don't even own it. So, I don't have a big picture of that. So
6 wins doesn't get you to a high-end bowl game. It just barely gets you bowl eligibility. Is that the floor or the ceiling for this team this year?
it's not even I don't even entertain the question because that's not what we're talking about. Our sole focus is on playing Utah. So
But
we've never once had a conversation about do we want to get to 6 wins or do we want to get to 9 wins or do we want to get to 10 wins or do we want to have a really good Wednesday. And I know that's boring to you guys and you don't for some reason you don't accept my answer, but the answer's always been the same. So that's what we do. That's what we're all about. We're about the process. We're very outcome aware, but we're process oriented in terms of everything we do. So for me to then go off script and say, hey, we do talk about that, we don't. We have to be efficient with our time. So our deal is we got to have a really, really good Wednesday to prepare for a really well-coached team and a really talented team in Utah. And we play football for what we become, not for what we get. So you get something out of that. That's not what we're all about. So
it's not that we don't accept it. It's on my end, on our end, we even included in the articles out of respect for the fact that is your theory. But the fans who spend their money on the tickets and the games want to hear something more than just having a great Wednesday. They want to know that there are thoughts of big picture goals roaming in somebody's head.
Big picture goals is to be the best version of ourselves.
No, big picture bowls. Sorry, big picture bowl games.
Okay. They can have that. I'm not controlling their thoughts. I wish I was that strong that I could and tell them what to think. I'm not telling them what to think. I'm telling how we approach things. That's what the question's about, and that's how we approach things. So that doesn't mean that they're not allowed to have goals and dreams and aspirations. Then they can have all of those as much as they want, and they can paint beautiful pictures in their mind. But we have to focus on what's the most important thing, and the most important thing is what is next. What is next for us is training today. And that's the definition of mental toughness, your ability to focus on the next most important thing. The next most important thing is practice on Wednesday. Not a bowl game, not where we're going to go, where we're going to spend Christmas, all those other things. If you do that, you get distracted. I told you the sports psychology aspect of it. You want to reduce 80% of your anxiety, live in the moment, don't live in the future. So that's what we're trying to focus on here.
Chip, Cameron Johnson was called for targeting. Will be out for the first half. How are you handling the reps and getting another guy ready to
Same
keep
thing.
started?
And we rotate those guys. So Jay Shaw and Devin Kirkwood have been playing out there a ton. So those guys will play in the first half, and then we'll get Cam back for the second half. So.
How did Kirkwood look when he did get in?
Kirkwood's played all season long, so he's looked very good all season long. I think had a big pick for us in the Washington game, to help us win that football game. But Devin's done a nice job. Devin's played since the Hawaii game, so Devin's played in every single game this year and has played a significant amount of snaps. So the fact that we got to rotate Dev and Jay out there, I think everybody feels comfortable with those two guys playing the field corner. And we got Mo and Albie into the boundaries.
Chase Griffin's been very active in the NIL space, has gotten a lot of deals. What does that say about him that a third string quarterback can really benefit off this new world order here of NIL?
What does it say about Chase? Is that he's just a special young man. We've known that from the time we started recruiting him. So, he's sharp. If you have an opportunity in NIL deals and you want a great representative for you, you should contact him. He's a great young man, and we're really proud of him. He's graduated undergrad from here in 2.5 years. He's already enrolled in grad school. Chase is a special person. So I think the companies, or whoever they are, and I don't know who they are, that are involved with Chase are pretty smart, because Chase, I'd want Chase. And I say it a lot, but if you want to buy stock in a human being, buy stock in Chase Griffin, because he's just starting to take it off. That kid's going to be a special person. He is not going to be. He is a really special person. So.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate that.